Alright everybody, so it's Curtis the Wordy Nerd. I'm back for part 2 of this Hydrospan experiment. Now, when I last left this, we were demolding. I went ahead and finished demolding all of the heads, trimmed all the flesh as best I could, and grabbed my digital postal scale. Picked this up some time ago, 35 bucks for weighing out packages. Huge saver of time when we had better access to the automated machines in the lobby, so that we knew what to do in advance. And when I was using variable weight boxes to ship stuff out, turns out that the flat rate small priority boxes serve the needs just fine. Cost a little tiny bit more, but most folks would rather get there with the priority speed, no delays. So, and it doesn't cost me for boxes, so I do prefer the priority mail. But that left me with a scale that I didn't use that much. So, the first thing we want to do is we're going to do this by weight. And it says we need to do, this is the B component, and on the bottle it says by weight 100 parts of A to 50 parts of B. So, by weight, that means whatever I do for this one, I need to double and add the doubled amount of this one to that, stir, and then pour into the molds. Now, my cup's weight is going to be a factor in this, right? So we're going to take the scale, it's turned off, I'm going to position the cup in the center, and I'm going to hit the on switch. And the on button is going to calibrate my scale to the tare weight for the cup. Alright, tare is T-A-R-E, tare. And what that represents is the weight that you don't want to account for when you're measuring something. Alright? When you buy food at the grocery store, you buy your produce in that bag, they're supposed to deduct the tare weight off of that. Okay? You're between your bag and little twisty ties and stuff, because you're not supposed to pay for that when you're getting your food. So that's what we're doing here. My scale is now calibrated. I'll take the cup off, and it puts me at negative 0.0 pounds and 0.3 ounces. So it's negative 0.3 ounces. Alright, that's how much the cup itself is 0.3 ounces. So, I'm going to grab my trusty X-Acto. I'm going to slice the plastic protective cover. I really should be wearing gloves and goggles and all that, but not that smart anymore. So we're going to, I'm going to tell you at home that you have to do it if you're using my video, because you're not going to tell anybody that I told you not to do it. I'm telling you to do it. Use your goggles, use your gloves. Alright? Now, this is my first time ever opening this. The contents of this look like a thing of oil, like for a car. So I'm going to carefully pour this over top of my box. Now, I'm going to test out the weight. Almost where I want. Alright, so I've got 1.1 ounce for that. Alright. Now, I'm going to pass this off out of the way. Hope I didn't just give myself cancer. Alright, that's not funny. It's the material data safety sheet says that this stuff is pretty harmless on the whole. It does have some stuff that can happen, but for the most part, it's not going to kill me. Alright, so with that 1.1, that means when I pour part A, I'm looking for a total of 3.3. Okay? So, we're going to break out the trusty X-Acto again. Way back in the old days of doing all this kind of stuff, I used to refer to my X-Acto knife as my trusty sidekick, because that X-Acto knife was so useful. Alright, now we just gotta unscrew the cap. And we are going to take some small chances. I'm going to eyeball this as best I can. And instinct tells me I just missed it by just enough. This part is very heavy, so current weight is actually 2.3, so I need exactly one more full ounce. Now I'm going to grab my wipe down rag to make sure I get a clean put away. Gonna give that a shot. 2.8. So I need 0.5 more to make this work. So we're gonna try. Now, I'm going to be kind of heartbroken that I don't have any more paper towels.
We don't.
So we're going to get very, very, very stingy with this one. While my wife looks to see if she can grab another for me.
My lunch bag.
And she comes through. Now, I want to make sure that I clean up as much of that as possible. Because like I said, really not wanting to have any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I wake up. 3.4. So I'm 0.1 over what I'm supposed to be. But I'm going to trust that that 0.1 isn't enough to be worth trying to fight it to fix. So, wooden popsicle stick, craft stick. And I'm going to stir. I have no idea what I'm looking for in consistency. I can guarantee you though, this way more than what I needed. There is no chance in the world that it's not. Now, if my memory is right, I'm supposed to have about 7 minutes of working time with this. I'm going to set that down during this 7 minutes while I wipe some of that gunk off my hand before I grow an extra eye on my arm or something weird. Alright. Now, it's getting a lot of air bubbles in it. And they tell me that you're supposed to, that if you can do degassing, it's a good thing. But if you can't, it's not the end of the world. Once again, I'm kind of on the poor side, so I cannot do the degassing. Because I cannot do the degassing, I'm going to have to use a burping method, where I tap my molds and try to get as much out as I can. So I'm going to sit down in my chair here, and I'm hoping that enough of this stays on camera that you can see what I do. Cup, mold. I'm going to pinch my mold and open it. Just like those little old plastic, rubbery plastic coin purses. We're going to do that. Now I'm going to pour as gently and as slowly as I can. Yep, this is going to be a problem. So, I'm going to have to set that there. I'm going to have to open it up a little bit. And I'm going to have to keep working this and let that burp, that air bubble out. That's going to help suck the chemicals in. Now I'm hoping that what I'm seeing isn't this stuff already trying to solidify, because if it really does solidify this fast, oh my god, did I waste a lot of material. But you know what, it's literally my first time trying to use this, so this is as much a learning experience for me as it is for you guys at home. We're going to throw my stir stick over there to the side. Gonna try not to get any of that stuff in my face. Alright. Again, I got a lot on there. But this burping method has served me well in the past, and I'm looking forward to it serving me well right now. I'm going to have to use my rag and wipe the sides of the mold off, it looks like, because I definitely used too much, and my pour from here isn't optimal. The cup rim is too big, so it's definitely giving me a little bit of trouble on that front. But this burping is helping. It is getting the mixture into the mold slowly, but it is getting in there. I know I'm not being a very entertaining host at the moment, but with good reason, as you can probably understand. I'm a little preoccupied in trying to keep this stuff from getting all over my hands like I just did. Alright, now I'm probably going to need to wash my hands in a minute, but the good thing about using dragon skin for my molds is I can see in there right now, I can see the air bubble that's going to give me trouble. So what I have to do is try and stir a little more, and I'm going to see if I can't just use this. And that looks like that's getting the last of that air bubble, mostly. Now I'm going to call myself a little smart here. But I'm not fast enough. Now. Alright. Well, we're probably going to have to try a couple more times. I definitely used more than was necessary. I don't have the work time out of the mixture that I thought I did. So we're going to do one of the ones that's got that. Honestly, folks, this stuff really is its own kind of science. You just got to know how it's going to work in order to get the results you're looking for, it seems like. So it's going to take me some practice to be able to do this fast enough to really be able to get anything done. Now that sizzling in the background, of course, is the wife cooking. So you can't really hear the mold burping. But you can see the air bubbles pop up when I do that. And when we see those air bubbles, that's a good sign. Because that means that we're getting mixture in and air bubbles out. And that squeezing and rolling the mold in my hand is helping to get those air bubbles moved so that we can get more of the mixture into the mold. And the more mix in there and the more air bubbles out means the better the casting is going to turn out. Because that's the bottom line at the end of the day, is how good a casting did we get. If we got a casting that was full of air bubbles, it didn't really help us at all. You know, that's going to be pretty much trash for that casting, and we'll have to start over. Now there is a tiny little air bubble in the back of this head. I can see it already, but because of the work time, I'm going to go ahead and keep moving. Alright. The burping method, not necessarily optimal for trying to do this kind of process. So it's definitely gonna give pause for thought. So you've seen how the concept is supposed to work. So I'm gonna wrap this video up because it's starting to get too loud. So I'm going to get some more done, and I'll come back with more of it done and show you how everything's going from there. I'm out.